All right, so today Sony had a big state of play. It was a big deal because they haven't had very much in a very long time. But we finally were able to get a glimpse at what is going to be coming for PlayStation 5 owners specifically. We had a lot to show. And joining me today is Lethal One Up and Jester19. These guys are fantastic. We've had them on the channel before, and they're going to discuss with me this state of play. How are you guys doing today?
You want to go?
Yeah, you can
I was gonna let Jester go.
No, it's fine. No, you can go. You can go.
No. I am having a good day, and I just want to say the state of play it had some good surprises, so I feel pretty good. You know, I'll leave it there. I don't want to go too deep because we're gonna get into it, but I'll just say, hey, good day. It's a good state of play.
I'm doing fantastic. Had work today and went to actually Lethal's house and watched the state of play, reacted with him, and came home and played some Hades 2 because I cannot stop playing that game. But
I gotta get on that. You're making me feel bad about myself because I bought it. I just haven't played it yet. I don't know what's going on. I know everyone has said that, but okay. So guys, let's talk about this state of play. It kicked off with like a 25-minute cinematic of Concord, or at least that's what it felt like to me. We talked about this right before we started. You guys really enjoyed the cinematic. I did not care for it very much, but it was certainly interesting. It very much felt Marvel-y, yes. Right?
I mean, I think the obvious big takeaway is at least to me, the inspiration of like a Guardians of the Galaxy. I felt that so clear, even through the characters. I was like, this is Star-Lord. This is the inspiration for Drax, right? This is maybe the inspiration for Gamora. Like, I just got that instantly from this. Like, it almost felt like it had a team of like Marvel writers doing that cinematic. So I was like, hey, man, I mean, for a game that's, I would say is on that route of like an Overwatch, I'm like, if they're going to try to go for like cool kind of story bits like that, because I think Overwatch has some type of like campaign-ish, story-ish stuff to it.
No.
Okay, well, never mind then. Well, I will go ahead and say that if they decide to do something like that, the characters already got me kind of like sucked in a bit.
Yeah, that's fair. And Will, you liked it too.
Oh yeah, I echo what he said. It reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy. It was the first, I forgot his name, but the first guy in the beginning, I was like, dude, that is Star-Lord. And then when you get into later on in the cutscene, you get the guy who's the tank with the diamond back, and I'm like, bro, that is definitely Drax, and his mannerisms and everything was Drax. And I was like, bro, like, this is Overwatch and Guardians of the Galaxy. And like, oh, come on.
Yeah, and one of the things I really like now, I was like, me personally, I was watching it going like, this is Guardians if you ordered that franchise from Wish. Like, it was like, it's very clear they are, like you guys said, they're defining these Guardians of the Galaxy roles, and they are really pushing that really hard. But what I really liked was the gameplay. Now, like, I know, Will, you play a lot of these like hero shooters things. So I know you're going to be down with at least trying this out, right? Yeah, and Lethal, what about you, man?
I mean, we were playing Marvel Rivals, so it's funny how this is coming out at a time where like Marvel Rivals is really big and hype. So it's like, I enjoyed that. Obviously, we all played that, or at least me and you, Bobby, played that. But I'm down to give this a shot, to see how it fares.
Yeah, one of the things I really loved watching through, like when they were talking about it, was when they said, oh yeah, there's going to be things that you can set up that affect the whole match. Like, you can set up like a block of a whole lane for an entire match, because that really is going to make for dynamic gameplay, in my opinion. Like, it's going to be, because you play like Overwatch, you play even Marvel Rivals, right? I played so much of that I was like, okay, I'm like really learning the maps. I know when someone's going to be coming around this way because they took a little bit too long to go to the main path, so I know they're probably going to be going this side path, right? But having the option to go like, hey, this match, that side path isn't available, or there's a healing pad over there, like they said, that is huge, and I think that's going to make it for a really dynamic game.
It's basically going to be like a giant Maywall for like the whole match. It's going to be dope. And it's funny enough because this is reminding me of what happened between Battleborn and Overwatch. They're essentially almost kind of the same, but very similar and different. So I wonder what's going to happen and who's going to come out a victor. Marvel Rivals, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later, or Concord. And to me, it's like, it's the same thing. I feel like it's going to be the same happening.
Yeah, it's I do too. The one thing though that is different is Battleborn and Overwatch are both first person.
Yes.
Right. And that's I think the thing that Marvel Rivals and Concord have going for themselves is one is first person, one is third person. So they're gonna just capture different audiences overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see if Concord is going to make much of a big splash in that space, like the one, you know, probably more akin to what, like the Overwatch. So I think that's for me, it's like the big, like, 'cause I look at, like, you know, the other live service that was recently pretty successful, right? Helldivers 2 for PlayStation. And so I keep thinking, like, is this gonna be able to hit the way that one kind of hit? Because I don't know if I see it, just because I had this conversation, I think, with Jester, where I was like, I felt like Helldivers 2, in my opinion, didn't have, I couldn't at least think of anything that like directly rivals it kind of in that space. And so I kind of felt like it came out at a good time for what it was doing and kind of unique, whereas I feel like Overwatch 2 is pretty, you know, prevalent or whatever. So Concord trying to come out and try to, you know, compete for that space, it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if it'll have the same success as Helldivers 2 did.
We never know. One thing, the things that Concord really has going for it is there's a lot of like Overwatch fans who don't play anymore because the game is just not progressing in a positive way. At least, you know, for me, I haven't played Overwatch in a couple months, I think now. And like last time I played it, I was just like, okay, I played like 3 matches, just uninstalled it again. I was like, you know what, I'm over it. It doesn't feel good to play anymore. And I think Concord being like a new thing in that genre, that's really good going for it, because someone like me who does like Overwatch, you know, but wants Overwatch to be better, I go, here's an alternative. The other thing I think that's really fantastic is it's coming out day and date on PC, and that's just going to be a huge boon to the player base. And because everyone's hyped for it, just like Helldivers, everyone's excited to check it out. Even if it starts with Helldivers, it's kind of weak because people look at it just like Helldivers. I mean, it's one of those things about this is Helldivers, before it came out, everyone was like, oh, that looks like it's going to be pretty mid. And then it came out and everyone was like, oh my God, it's so fun, right? So it could be the same thing with Concord, where you think, oh, you know, it might be kind of mid, but it ends up being a whole ton of fun. Word of mouth spreads, and boom, it blows up. And then Sony's sitting pretty if they have two live service games kind of take off in 1 year.
Not to mention they have like more cooking. Like they still have the Bungie's Marathon. They still have, I think it was called Fairy Games from that one studio. Like if they get 2 out of the 4 that they have announced or whatever, like that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
They're doing better than every other company on the market if it takes off. All right, so let's move on, because next up was God of War Ragnarok on PC. I do want to preface, we are reading from a Polygon article because we don't remember the order of everything, so we'll just be reading down that article. So if we're out of order from the actual showcase, sorry about that. God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC, and it looks like it's going to feature DLSS 3 and FSR 3.1, much like Ghost of Tsushima did, which means if you don't have a 40 series card, you can still use frame gen, which is huge. What do you guys think?
I'm excited. Like I was telling Lethal earlier today / the last couple weeks, I really been itching to replay Ragnarok, and I was like, all right, today's the day. This was yesterday. I was like, tomorrow I'm gonna replay it after this thing, and this gets announced. I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna hold my replay for the PC version, because God, I cannot wait for that. It's gonna look gorgeous, and it looked gorgeous on the PS5 already. It's gonna even look. And it comes with the Valhalla DLC, even though it's free, but still, oh my God, I can't wait. I'm really, really excited.
I know for me, like I don't tend to try to get these on like Steam or anything on PC, but somehow I end up doing it when I see that Steam Deck verification thing. So whatever strategy that they have going for that, it's suckering me at least, because typically I don't do that stuff. But I don't know. I'll probably get this maybe when it goes on sale, just for literally for Steam Deck, you know. Like wink at you, PlayStation. Let's get that PlayStation next gen PlayStation Portable coming. All right, PSP, give us a new one.
Do that with the remote play and native, like, and you got me. So like I wasn't, you know, I returned my Portal because I was like, I have a Steam Deck Chiaki, same thing in my opinion. Like it works just about as well. The screen is not as pretty, I will admit that, and you don't get the haptics, which are super nice. But I'm like, for $200, I could just not spend that $200, use my Steam Deck. But you give me a native with remote play, then we're talking.
I will say it's cool to see like they are pretty much like hammering down on this strategy of like right day and date on well dropping first right on PlayStation and then coming the year after on PC. So they very are pretty much going through with that. So you know,
yeah, they're sticking to that plan, and they just announced yesterday. They said that's our plan.
I think they did, right? I didn't know the whole specifics, but is that what it is? Like they're like forward, you know, putting their foot down, like, hey, this is just the strategy going forward. It is going to be year after.
Yes.
Okay.
Herman Hulse basically, you know, said, hey, live service, right? Like Concord, day and date PC.
Right.
We want player base. We want people playing together. If it's a single player, buy a PS5. Right? he hit him with that, and you know, that's the strategy, and it's worked for them. So I think they're just going to continue with that.
Yes. Also, hold on real quick. I did put this on my wish list, and as I put it on my wish list, it does say PSN required account. So just, you know, be wary with that.
Yes.
Most of the single player,
everything
actually,
from
everything.
Sony.
So you're gonna need an account.
Everything from Sony is going to require an account now. Like they let people get away with it because they got all mad about Helldivers. You know, that cost them a ton of MAUs, but you're not getting away with it on anything else. Like in Ghost, they were like, okay, whatever, we'll let it. The reason with Ghost they let it slide is because obviously, like, they just went through the Helldivers thing. So if they're like, well, you need it for the single player on Ghost, people would flip out. But now that they're gonna have some time, yeah, you're gonna have to sign up for a PSN account. I hate to break that to you. It's the way I look at it is that's a cost of doing business, right? Like I have to sign up for a Blizzard account, I have to sign up for an EA account. And
I was gonna say
thing.
like other publishers or, you know, manufacturers or whatever the case may be are making people sign up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you know,
yeah, they all want that data. They all want those MAUs, right? So like you just like God of War Ragnarok is one of the best games I have ever played. If you want to play it, just sign up for the account. It's like, I know, yeah, it sucks. Oh, my data, whatever. Like everyone has your data. You have a cell phone, they all have your data, right? So like, just like enjoy the game for what we can get, you know. Okay, so let's move on. The third thing on this list is like literally the peak of this thing for me, and it was the showstopper, right? It was the end. It was Astro Bot. We were talking about this before we hopped on this recording. I looked at this and I was like, this is the thing that PlayStation has needed for like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
They need a franchise that is fun, that is just taking some just simple gameplay mechanics and just fun, like family friendly stuff, and just pushing it forward. This, as a fan of platformers, right? Obviously grew up with Mario. Will, you're with me because you're like my age, right? So we grew up when, you know, when we were, what was it? We were like 10 to 12 when like Mario 64 dropped.
Yep.
And that was like game changing, right? Like, because PlayStation was out with like some 3D stuff like Resident Evil tank controls, like, you know, but like to get something as fluid as Mario 64 was when it came out, it's like, oh. And seeing now PlayStation committing to something like that with Astro Bot, where if you own a PS5, you have the Astro Bot, or Astro's Playroom, excuse me. That was like one of the best little tech demos I've ever seen. The DualSense being integrated and just the fun little missions. There's a speedrun mode like that. I platinumed that, I think, before I finished Miles Morales. Like I was playing Miles Morales and I was like, let me go back and play a little bit Astro. Like, what do you guys think about this?
Dude, I'm genuinely so glad that they did come out with like another Astro Bot game. I'll be honest, I didn't play the VR one when that came out, so I was very much like out of the loop with it. I just didn't have the VR when that was a thing. But obviously when I got the PS5, I did play the one that came with the PS5, and I instantly fell in love with it. I was like, dude, I can't believe I missed out on this before, but I'm glad I got to try it out now. And the fact that, like, you know, they are going to go ahead and give us another one that to me just looks even bigger. And I haven't looked into the details of it. I don't know if it's a much bigger game than what we got with the PS5 from that one. But it looks incredible. Like, the way that I could describe it was like, it just felt like it was like the Mario of PlayStation. Like, it really felt like they were really pushing that direction of like the extreme platforming and all these crazy levels with like different types of tasks and whatnot. And I mean, they did a thing that's like really cool that I'm glad they're really like pushing, is like the little cameos with PlayStation characters or, you know, past collaborations and stuff like that. They had like the what was it, the Leviathan axe from like God of War. I was like, dude, they're really killing it. And like the freaking controllers, like the spaceship, I'm like, oh man, Dude, I'm just glad that they're continuing with it, that this is going to become a thing. I honestly will say, I thought this was going to be something that they dropped with the next refresh of the PS5, with the PS5 Pro, I guess we could dub it. I genuinely thought they were going to pair that with that. And so kind of shocker that they didn't do it. But I mean, I'm here for it. Yo, it's coming out September 6th, which is also much sooner than I thought we might be getting that. So I will say it's a nice surprise to see. And it's great to see that's coming out this year.
I am
What about
different with you guys. I'm not a big fan of it. Like,
Get out.
Cool. Astro Bot's getting another game. You know what? Fine. Anyway, it's cool. Astro Bot is getting another game. I'm just not a big fan of it. I did play the VR game. I think there was a demo when I picked up my VR of it, and it was freaking fantastic. Astro's Playroom, I didn't play as much. But still cool. It's a cool concept. And getting back to what Bobby said about the whole Mario stuff, I feel like Astrobot, and this is just me, Astrobot is Mario and Sackboy is like the Donkey Kong, because crazy enough that we don't have another Sackboy game, even though he had his big solo, like the one for PS5, and Astrobot had like that mini game that came out with the PS. And cut to now, Astrobot's getting a full-fledged, like, bigger, better game. But it looks cool. It's just not my taste, fortunately.
Yeah, and that, you know, just
no,
you can do
will I pick it up? I'll pick it up when it's free, because I'm not going to pay, no offense, but I'm not going to pay money for that. But it looks cool, and I can't wait to see how, I'll watch people play it, but I just personally just won't play it anymore. It looks cool, but just not for me.
And that's totally fair. You know, like, it's one of those things where you have to really enjoy, like, platformers, right? And like some people just grow out of them, right? Because we all grew up playing them. Obviously, it's like one of the first things you play, and it helps you learn like spatial awareness to play like Mario, either side scroller or 3D, right? But yeah, some people just, they get older and they're like, meh, I'm not into it anymore. And that's totally, you know, that's totally
I'm not saying, sorry, I'm not saying I don't love platformers. I love platformers. I'm actually going through,
you're just not,
yeah, I'm currently going through Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, 3 on the Switch right now again. But like, yeah, it's just,
this man likes his
Bro.
2D.
He just
Mario
doesn't
Wonder.
like, he just doesn't like that.
What are you
it's a
talking
PlayStation
about?
thing.
No,
That's what it
yeah,
is.
because I don't like
that's what
PlayStation.
it
Yep,
is,
bring
man.
the
He just
Xbox
doesn't
in
like
it.
PlayStation.
That's what it is.
Like,
Yep.
I don't know how we're sitting here. You're gonna say you don't like Astrobot. That's just insane.
It's just not for me. But sorry to cut you off, Bobby. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was gonna say next on this list is one that me and Lethal get to play, and we're gonna play it with
Finally
Jester when it comes back out. Next is Marvel Rivals, because now it's coming to PS5 and Xbox, as well as a PC beta. Now we played the alpha. I would say it was pretty damn polished.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
For an alpha? Yeah. See, I didn't even know it was.
For
I didn't even know it was the alpha.
Crazy. That's what I like to
I
hear.
thought it was also the beta. I mean, they had a lot of cosmetics, like a lot of outfits and stuff like that. I mean, it definitely did not feel like an alpha, but that's cool. It just goes to show, like, you know, how much work is being put into this game. And so, yeah, the beta, though, I mean, Bobby, I'm sure you're going to go a little bit more into it, but I'm pretty excited to play as Venom. I don't know about you.
Yes.
But, and dude, it took me a second to realize that was Adam Warlock. I kept telling Jester, I was like, I think that's Adam Warlock from, like, Guardians.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I think that's them, like, revealing 2 more characters. Or maybe they were revealed before, but, like, showing more gameplay for them. But, dude, that's exciting.
No, I mean, they weren't in the alpha.
Yeah.
I don't remember them talking about Venom before. You know, like, I'm a huge Spider-Man person. I would have been all like, oh my God, Venom, right? Like, you know, I was that age where, like, Venom was new when I was a kid. So it was like the new hotness, and like, I think Venom's cool, right? So having Venom and then seeing there's a team up between Venom and Peter and Penny Parker, right? Like, that's killer. And I'm hoping that, you know, that later on down the line they can bring Miles in and maybe have like a Miles and Peter team up. That's really, really awesome. The team ups are one of my favorite parts of that.
Yeah.
Like, if you had the right team, man, being like the Punisher and you have like a killer Rocket backing you up, that was my best game. That game I sent you, Lethal, where I went like 30-0, was because I was playing Punisher and I had a Rocket just healing and buffing me the entire
Yeah,
game.
did you also notice? I don't know if this was in the alpha, and I don't know if I missed that, but they looked like they had like a trio team up with Adam, Star-Lord, or hold on, I'm looking at it right now. It's Mantis, Adam, and I think it's had it there. and Star-Lord. It's 3 of them with the team up activated. I don't know if I'm just going crazy, but I was like, was there a third, like a 3-team for that before?
Yeah, there was in the alpha. It was Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Hulk. Where if a Hulk is on your team for either one of the other 2, they would get powered up from the Hulk just being on the team. Like he leaks, you know, he's leaking gamma radiation, and Iron Man can use it to power up his missiles, and Doctor Strange can use it to power up his magic or something. So yeah, the 3-person team up was there before, and it was really cool, especially if you had both, because then, like, you know, you have 2 tanks who are juiced, because Hulk is just pretty good, and Doctor Strange is really, really good when he's powered by Hulk, and then you have a DPS that's juiced from Hulk too, and that was a really solid team up. Coming to PS5 and Xbox. Will, you gonna be playing on Xbox?
No, I've been playing on PC, bro. Ever since I've made my PC, I've become a PC person.
He just, I'm a PC guy. That's what happens, especially when you spend a bunch of money. You're like,
I mean, I still go on my Xbox and I play a lot on my PS5, but like I go on my Xbox from time to time. That's the only way I can play Elden Ring, even though I turned it on and I got really mad yesterday. I don't want to play it anymore. But no, I'm really excited. Like I as you guys was talking, I was looking up NetEase and I didn't realize that they made Naraka Blade Point, and I play that from time to time.
Yeah.
And I like that game. And they also made the Dead by Daylight mobile and like Once Human, which I've seen a lot of people play that before.
Yeah, that game's really. Yeah. I'm still playing that from time to time. I'm in like the closed alpha. Or
but I am surprised that you guys said it was an alpha and how polished it was, because I'm trying not to take it back to Hades, but I'm playing Hades 2 right now in the early access. And for the amount of content that's in this early access version right now, it feels like it should be out. Granted, there's a lot of stuff that's not like some of the card art and all, and some areas are not done yet. But the fact that you have so much content, so much things to do in this early access, it feels like it should be out. But if you guys are saying it's an alpha and it looks polished as hell, I'm ready for it. I don't know who I'm going to be. I tried not to watch people because I was getting mad because I didn't get a code, probably. But I've seen like a little bit of Spider-Man. I've seen a little bit of Star-Lord, who reminds me of like Soldier 76 and what's his name? The die guy. Reaper, yes. Reaper. Sorry, I have Overwatch in a while.
Yeah, he's like Soldier, Reaper, and Tracer.
Yes. So I'm like, I've seen him.
Wild.
I was never a big Hulk fan, so I'm not gonna really play him. But like, Magneto looks cool, and like, I just can't wait to play, man. Yeah. It's like up my alley. I need a game like this. I'm bored right now as we're recording this. I have no game to play, and all I can think of is Concord and Marvel Rivals, and I just want them right now.
I think it's going to be a really fun time getting on the beta, and hopefully they have a ton more people testing so they can get a stress test this time. Because it was flawless for me. I don't think I had it crash. I think I had maybe one game where I got booted because of network issues. Out of like, I played like 65 games of Marvel Rivals. I played, a couple dozen hours, I think. It was flawless. I was stunned at how well it ran. But yeah, look forward to that. It's going to be on the consoles and on the thing. They said there's a special PlayStation Spider-Man Scarlet Spider skin, so I know I'm going to have to play that because the Scarlet Spider is one of my
I'll just play it on PS5 just to get that skin. Like, just to be like, hey, I have it, and then I'll go back to PC. So that's
exactly. All right, next up on our list, we have a Monster Hunter Wilds. Good, gorgeous game.
I need it, man. I need it.
I was just watching it going like,
yes.
Yeah.
Like every new shot, I was just like, what?
I don't know if it's just
like, how does it look that good?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if it's just me, but like even the character models, I was like, bro, did they step up?
I don't know who that was, but she
like,
baby girl.
Like they look. Yeah, I was like, they look like they've like stepped up. It's like just the faces and everything. I was like, dude, this is looking really
like
good.
The hair physics on the monsters were nuts. Like, because I didn't play Rise, but I played World, and World's fantastic, but this was just like so next level. Like I was like, man, that is beautiful. And then just seeing like the counters, like like getting the thing where he sticks the the weapon to hold the mouth open.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I was like,
I
oh,
hope that's like a new mechanic, because I feel like every Monster Hunter has like a new kind of gimmick to it, and so like if that's something that's new where you can kind of like stop them from like chomping at you or something, dude. That's gonna be exciting, man. They already showed like it looked like a new ability with like, I think might have been either the long sword or the great sword, where like it looks like they like jabbed it through the side and like carried it through the rest of the enemy. I was like, dude, this is exciting, man. I love that I hope that they're doing it with this one. I'm pretty sure they are. But like one of my favorite things is they take the classic weapons and they sometimes like kind of switch it up a little bit, add something new to it in each different game. And so I very do hope that like one of my favorite weapons, or two of them I should say, is the greatsword and the longsword. Yo, give me something like a new combo with that, or some type of new moveset with it, man, and I'll be so freaking excited. I mean, I'm already excited, but like that just to me is like kind of like that icing on the cake. But I'm excited. I mean, dude, even like the opening kind of like cinematic going into like I felt like there's like a little bit of like a story drop there, and I'm like, man, is this might be like the first Monster Hunter where like if it has some type of little story to it that I'm going to be really interested in, because dude, I was sucked into like the different environmental shots and everything. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. The last Monster Hunter that I think I got heavily invested into was World. So like it kind of makes sense that the next one I'm getting this excited for again, it would happen to be kind of
the big one.
Yeah, it would be kind of the next installment after World. Yeah. Hey man, Rise is great. I'm sure Rise is fantastic.
Rise is fun. I've heard Rise
I'm sure
really,
it's fantastic.
Really great, but it's like it's a lower. It's a not. I don't want to say lower. I want to say smaller scale.
Yeah.
Right. Versus World was really just like huge in scale.
Right. So Wilds is like, yo, I'm
Wilds
in.
Is enormous.
I'm in, dude.
I'm down.
Yes, it's just like I was when we were watching the clip, I was like, did this man just like not parry, but did he just roll onto his mount? And I was like, and then they replayed it again. I was like, oh my god, he just called his mount quick as hell. Yeah, Rise is good. Rise is good.
Yeah.
Wow, World was fantastic. I didn't play it as much. I didn't play Rise as much, but playing both of them, Rise was a little bit better. But this one's gonna be, mwah. This one's gonna be good. I might play a lot more than I usually play, but I cannot wait.
Okay, now that is absolutely looking like it's gonna be a like banger beyond banger. The next one on our list is Silent Hill 2. Okay, Silent Hill 2 is a legendary game. I'm gonna keep it real. This footage did not impress me very much.
Is it the gameplay?
Yeah,
that seems to be what everybody kind of has been harping on from these last couple ones. But I will say, check out the newest footage that came out that's specifically dubbed the gameplay trailer from the official Konami showcase that they had today, because I think it looks a lot better in that gameplay. Because I agree that the one that they showed here and the ones that they showed previously, there's just something about it. It's just not clicking. It's not hitting.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is exactly. It looks like the hits don't feel right. The gunfire looks like it's, I don't know where it's shooting. Like there's points where I'm like, man, some of it looks kind of bad. But I will say, check out the newest one. But I want to give Blooper Team like the benefit of the doubt. I want to see what they do with this, because I will say, at least for me personally, I feel like they're capturing the aesthetic really well of Silent Hill, right? They're making sure like you can't see where you're going, right? The ash, yes. I think it's ash or something like that, right? They're giving you like that like suspense and everything. I feel it. I feel like when I watch it, and I know I'm gonna get that feeling when I play it. So like I think the biggest concern, and Bobby, I know you're gonna get into it a little bit, but like it is the gameplay. So I hope from that latest trailer it's gonna be more like that. So I'm excited. I think overall I'm excited for this a lot.
And what about
you? I never played Silent Hill, and I don't plan on playing Silent Hill.
He's like, I have no.
Well, no, I really don't, because like I said before, I think the last podcast I was on with you guys, I don't do scary games. Mind you, I did beat Resident Evil 4, but that's different because I was like, no, not that scary. Even though there was some scary parts, but I don't do well with scary games, so I was like, all right, whatever. Like I said, I was at Lito's house watching this, and I was like, oh, I never played this, but I never seen the movies. Like, don't even see the movie. So I kind of want to watch the movie, but I will not be playing this. I'll watch people play it, but I personally won't play it, and I never played any of them. So cool for people who like the series, but also I don't know, because I'm hearing a lot of backlash, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it just like you know, like I mentioned, the gameplay did not look good, but yeah, one of the things, Leslie, you brought up was just it looks like Silent Hill, and I think that's super important because like half of Silent Hill is just the vibe, right? And I mean that's most horror games, right? Like if you guys ever played, Will, you probably didn't, but you know, if you ever played PT,
I played that,
like,
but I couldn't do it.
You played that?
I did, and I beat it, but I was like, never again.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of go through the rest because the rest are more low profile. So we'll kind of go through. We got some remakes and some smaller scale games. All of some of them look kind of cool. We had Dynasty Warriors. Are you guys into Dynasty Warriors?
Not too much. I mean, I played maybe 1 or 2 back in the day, but like, you know, I've not followed the series like that. So, I mean, it's cool to see a new one coming out. At first, I was kind of confused. I was like, what is this? And then I started seeing all the soldiers and I was like, oh, this is Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah,
this is another Dynasty Warriors.
And it's funny because like the only quote unquote Warriors game I've played is Hyrule Warriors.
Of course.
From
you, Bobby. Of course.
I play Zelda. You know how we do. I need to play Wand of Gamelon. So after that was Path of Exile 2. That's actually really promising looking. If you don't want to play Diablo, which I don't really want to play Diablo because I don't want to pay for it, but I'll play it free to play. And I've heard Path of Exile 2 is looking really solid. What do you guys
Path
think
of
about
Exile
that?
free?
Yeah.
What?
It's just super grindy.
I mean, if
you know, but it's free. I mean, every free.
I know we're talking about PlayStation right now, but if you have Game Pass, Diablo is on Game Pass. Just an FYI. But Path of Exile 2 looks promising actually. I might try it out since it's free now. Since I found out, I might try that out now.
And then they had the Until Dawn remastered.
Why?
I mean, if you played Until Dawn, why?
No, okay. Said it before. You said it before I could say it, man. I was gonna say why.
No, but it looks like it looks ugly. It's supposed to be a remaster, and it looks ugly.
Yeah, it looks like the original, which is really strange. Like it doesn't look like there's been much of a maybe some lighting.
But my thing too is that like the messaging for this one was a little bit weird because like for it being a remastered, like I felt like they didn't even try to highlight what were the remastered aspects of it. I mean, I at least I agree. Like when I watched it, I was like, it looks like it might be slightly better, but the game is so damn dark that you can't really tell kind of like how much of it is better. Maybe it's more of the gameplay side of things. Maybe that's like the better aspect of it, but it was an interesting thing because this was rumored for a while, and I remember being like, well, this can't be real. Like this has got to be fake. Like it makes no sense unless they have a new one coming out or something. I have no idea, but
it could be, but
I don't know.
Still seems just
it's a strange thing. So I mean, it's cool for the people that love this, but I'll be honest, this is something that like you could have just ported over, or if it isn't already available, which I don't even know. I think it might be already available. It's just I don't know. It's an interesting thing to want to remaster. I'll say that.
Then on our list next is actually the one I was probably most interested in of the smaller scales, Where Winds Meet. This is the obligatory Souls-like looking thing that you see in every showcase now.
Yeah,
like every single game showcase. Like,
they're doing it, man. That's what
our Souls.
That's what they're doing. I was saying this when I was watching it. I was like, man, we gotta have at least 1 or 2, huh? Every showcase now.
Yeah,
like,
every showcase.
Like PlayStation really wants
some
to.
Some of them are good. Like Lies of P.
Right? Stellar Blade was good. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
Stellar Blade
was good.
You know,
Stellar Blade was good.
Like so, it just. But I saw it. I was like, you know, this seems like it looks like it could be good, kind of like Liza P. So I would actually be very interested in see what comes of this one when it comes out. Then we had Infinity Nikki, which was is it like a
I don't know what this is. I don't
know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. I try to like is it like their take on a Disney princess? Like how's
well, I mean, it looks like it's like at least some action. You know,
is there action? Because I didn't really.
There's like. There was like a little shot of her like shooting at a boss.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. I think you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. There was some of that.
But everything else was like CGI. That looked like the only gameplay.
But they also talk about how like it's very stylish. You get the style.
I was calling this
the
Princess Pokemon Snap. That because the only thing it was doing was taking pictures. I was like,
it says it's an open world dress up adventure, which like is really
I don't know
strange because I don't know. It looks like it has really nice graphics, but you'd want to have this like aimed more at kids, so you'd want to make it more cartoony. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that, but it's there for anyone.
I kept saying I was like, who is this catered towards? Like I can't tell.
Yeah,
like is this for kids?
Because
like I can't really tell. Like I don't know who this is for.
It's for Jester. That's right.
Oh man.
And then we had Ballad of Antara.
Hell yeah,
That looked cool.
That looked pretty cool too. Like, so this one is like, and again, I don't want to say Souls-like, but
yeah,
I feel like Neo.
This one
Neo,
I felt
more
was
Neo.
a little bit more like like a Souls like Neo-ish
yeah.
style. But no, this is another one. But this one actually caught my eye more than the other one for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't know. I mean, they're kind of very similar, but this one I think had more of like the Elden Ring kind of like aesthetic, and I was like,
Yeah,
I was sucked in because it has more of that type of like world kind of vibe to it. And so I was like, dude, I'm in, man. They keep throwing these types of games at me, and I'm a sucker. I'm gonna keep buying them, man, because they're cool. They're really cool, man. I'm down. I'm always down for a good Souls like.
I was confused at first. I was like, "What is going on?" And then I saw the gameplay, and like I said, I mind you, I never played Neo, but I've seen Neo what it looks like. I'm like, it's kind of like a Neo game, and it kind of looks cool. Will I try it out? Maybe. Like you guys know that I'm not a big Souls guy. Even though I did play Lies of P and I loved it. Played Stellar Blade and I loved it. And I'm currently trying to go through Elden Ring for the second time, and I don't know if I can do it. But this looks cool. This looks cool. I'm really impressed how it looks too. Crazy.
it looks fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, I have to look into the studio behind it because it's really good.
And then we had a couple PSVR 2 titles. I thought these actually looked cool, but like PSVR 2 is so niche. We had Behemoth, which is like, it looked like the modernization of Skyrim VR. Like, I really dug the little hook shot thing where you could use it to grab stuff in the world or grab enemies or whatever. That was really cool. But the rest was just like, okay, so outside of that, it's like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't even care for the VR titles. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care.
It looked nice.
I'm just it's just like taking up showcase time for me, man, if I'm being honest. But hey, man, they're still supporting us, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's my thing is like, hey, they sold enough people that they need to keep supporting it as long as they can, as long as they can go like, okay, we can eat this cost for a little while longer just to make sure those people get something for that $500 they spent. Because that was a pretty big price tag for something that they are basically stopping supporting almost already entirely. So
yeah.
And then the last one, Alien Rogue Incursion, that looked super cool. I mean, I'm just a sucker for Alien. Like, I love that franchise. And it looked, it looked like that's what I want a VR Alien game to look like. What was it? Alien Isolation was a one?
Yeah.
Did that come to VR?
No.
Last gen?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so. That's what I'm saying. Is like,
yeah.
It's like they took that and
Yeah.
made it into a VR game, which is, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I didn't play that.
That's too scary.
I didn't
for
play
me.
that, but I
Too
watched
scary
people
for
play
me.
that. Yeah, that's too scary.
Yeah, VR version of that game? No, I can't do that.
That'd be, get it with the smell-o-vision.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
The game scent.
No thanks, man. That's too much. That's too
Smell-
much.
smell
I'll
the
pass.
alien
played it.
breath.
I'll
pass,
play it in
man.
Smell-o-vision. I played in Smell-o-vision.
There you go, man. Don't get.
All right, so what? Okay, like now, if you guys got to give this like a letter grade, A, B, C, D, F, what are you guys giving this showcase?
I'll go ahead and I would give this like I said before, I think it's like a B. Like I thought it was just like a pretty like medium okay like showcase. I mean that to me is like B. A is just fantastic. C is just like I don't know, worse than okay. It's like not trash. It's just bad. I don't know. So I'll say it's like a B. It had a mix up. I'm glad it wasn't as many VR2 titles because I'll be honest, when they announced these state of plays and I'm like, oh, let me see what's going to be in there. Third party, nice. PlayStation Studios titles, nice. And I say VR2, I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, I don't want to see any more of these. But I'm glad there's only 2. So that kind of like helped it out a bit. But there's a couple of games in there, right? I mentioned the Ballad of Antara. That was really cool to see that one. I mean, yeah. Silent Hill 2, I'm excited for that. But like, like I knew Konami was having their thing today. So for me, it was kind of like, why did they throw that in there if Konami's having something? But I guess PlayStation wanted to get that release date announcement out first. So, hey, whatever. They gave it that. The Monster Hunter is, for me, huge. So Monster Hunter Wilds, and to get to see more of that is a good thing. And then, honestly, Astro Bot, right? That's the big one. That's the one that made it like that B level. Like, if it didn't have Astro Bot, this probably would have been like a C for me. Because Concord wasn't going to be enough to keep me being like, yo, this is exciting. Like, no, like Astro Bot definitely saved the day. But I will say that I am curious, though, because like I think Astro Bot comes out in September. I am curious. I guess we don't have we do have a date for Concord, August 23rd. So for me, I was looking to see if they were going to announce something that was going to drop at the end of this year, like a something to tease for whatever, and they didn't yet. So I'm curious to see if we'll get something else from PlayStation later this year for a big maybe PlayStation Studio title to end out the year. But regardless, I would say this is like a B for me.
Okay, what about you?
I'd give it a C. Really, the only thing that held up for me was Concord, God of War PC, and Marvel Rivals. Besides that, and then really just Monster Hunter. It looks great. All these games, or those ones that I said, were my games. I love those games. Where wins meet. I'm not sold on it yet. I would actually like to see more gameplay and stuff. Infinite Nikki, I don't know what. I don't even know what game that was. Like, crazy, but yeah, it was just to see not too many games. Like Lethal likes Astro Bot, like you guys like Astro Bot. Astro Bot didn't do it for me. If it was a game that I was like more excited for, it would have got shot up. But Concord and Monster Hunter and God of War were like the ones that, like, you know, good. Other than that, it was solid. Like I said, solid. It was an okay. Rather, it was an okay. A C is an okay for me.
Me personally, I would say like an A minus, right? Because I'm really a sucker for a good platformer. Like Mario Wonder was one of my favorites last year. You know, like I said, grew up playing Mario and 3D Mario. And then on top of that, right, like seeing another Marvel Rivals playtest coming, like that just got me hyped, because I was just thinking like, man, I wish that was back already. Ragnarok coming to PC, I'll probably buy it again because I'm a sucker for that game. I still gotta buy the first one again. Concord, I really am looking forward to giving it a try, because it's like you said, Will. There's just this hole I have right now for like a solid like PvP lineup of games, and I already know Marvel Rivals is in that lineup, like, because I could not stop playing that alpha playtest, right? So like I know once that comes out, I'm just gonna be on it because I enjoyed it so much, right? And then you got Monster Hunter, Silent Hill, like Lethal said, the gameplay is looking better in the new footage. Maybe Sony had like some old footage that they just found in a drawer somewhere or something. I don't know. That was cool. And then stuff like Path of Exile being there. That Where Winds Meet is very interesting. The things that really took points away, like the biggest thing for me that put points away is, like you guys basically said, like Infinity Nikki. Who is that for? I'm sure there's someone out there who's like, yeah, but I don't see a lot of core gamers going open world dress up adventure. Yeah, that's what I need. But you also got to remember, we're in a different time now. We have to cater a little bit to like a more casual audience who might be interested in something with that. So we can't speak that no one would be interested. It's just like, we're definitely not interested, right? But overall, I think this was a moderate success. I saw people go like, this was one of the worst state of plays, and I was like, what? Like there's some good stuff in here. Like, I mean, even if nothing, like if you're not interested in any of the PlayStation titles, like Monster Hunter Wilds look fantastic, and really getting that deep look into it was great. So, all right, so we're gonna wrap it up with that. Before we do, we're gonna do the shout outs. So Will, where can we catch you, man? Like your Twitter, your YouTube channel?
You can find me on Jester 19 on Twitter, Jester 19 on basically just about everything. Twitch and YouTube as well. I do stream Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I upload YouTube videos around the weekend because I got a new schedule for work. And yeah, if you like wrestling and just a funny, you can follow me because I watch a lot of wrestling.
And Jared, aka Lethal, what about you, dude?
Right there, you said it, man. You can find me right at Lethal1Up, literally across, same thing. Twitter, YouTube is mainly my two platforms. Yeah, posting up some variety content on the channel right now, so come check it out. And yeah, man, fun state of playtimes.
All right, as always for me, follow us on @59direct on Twitter to keep up with the shit we talk and the polls we make. If you want to hear me talking my shit, I'm at Little Bobby TV on Twitter. You can follow Little Bobby on YouTube. And Talon, I always shout out Talon, even though he never does this for us. Just want to point that out, Talon.
Wow. Call him out.
at Gaming Talon on Twitter. Talon's got some spicy takes as well, because he really likes Ghost of Tsushima, and he's like, that's the best game ever made. And I think it's a fine game, but I don't agree with that. So you'll see me and him arguing about that all the time. But thank you so much if you guys made it to the end here. Remember to subscribe, leave a like, and if you didn't like this video, leave a dislike. Let us know in the comments of what we can do better for the future. Little Bobby here, Borderback Gaming, signing off. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you soon.